Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at a new Drifblim card. Which, first of all, pretty exciting card. Secondly, why was it revealed censored? That's weird. Join me as we take a look, shall we? Now, this was revealed and translated by the lovely David Hochmann over at RappelmannTCG. Well, it's kind of revealed on the official YouTube, but it was translated by David Hochmann. And if we start having a look at the basics here, it's fine. 100 HP is fairly low. It's alright. It's not terrible. Retreat cost of 1 is quite low, and it does open up a skateboard, so that's quite nice. Resistance to fighting is pretty good with all the Buzzwole and other fighting stuff running around at the moment. Not to mention that stuff like Zoroark is weak to fighting. So, fighting's a good type to be, and if fighting's a good type to be, then fighting is a good resistance to have. As for the weakness to darkness, you got 100 HP, so it's not going to make a huge difference, but let's just say that if you come across something like Zoroark, you aren't going to be lasting very long at all. As for being a psychic Pokemon, you're hitting weakness on stuff like Buzzwole, which is rather nice, and it means you can use Spell Tag to drop some extra damage counters and Malamar to accelerate some energy, so yeah, not a bad type to be. But what's with the censoring here? You can see, and as always, if you want to flick straight to the ability and attack, etc., there are timestamps in the description. But one of the more interesting things about this reveal is that they've blurred out a big part of the card. Why have they done that? Now, David said something about that on the stream, or on the video where they revealed this, they said that it was an adult thing, which is a little bit weird. The prevailing theory around the interweb people, there's no guarantee here, but the prevailing theory around the interwebs is that this is a picture of Raichu and Alolan Raichu, which is foreshadowing an upcoming Tag Team GX. Now, to be fair, we have had Muck and Alolan Muck GX, so Raichu and Alolan Raichu GX would make sense. There we go. That's the best I can give you. As always, when the uncensored card is revealed, I shall show it to you and we shall know. But this isn't some weird accident. This is a very, very deliberate censoring. This has been very deliberately censored. So, what does a card do? Well, the real highlight here is the ability. And according to David, it reads, once during your turn, you may switch your active Tag Team Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. That's really good. Now, to be fair, we've had Drifblim in the past that have free retreat. So it's kind of upsetting that this one doesn't. The amazing one from Plasma Blast, which I liked very much indeed, it essentially attacked for free if your opponent had enough Team Plasma Pokemon in play, which was pretty sweet. That one had free retreat, this one should too. It is a balloon at the end of the day. Balloons generally are not that difficult to shift. Having said that, giving free retreat essentially to your Tag Team Pokemon, yes. I like this a lot. Because a lot of these Tag Team Pokemon have high retreat. We don't really see low retreat on any of them. I mean, we mentioned Muck and Alolan Muck earlier. That's got a retreat cost of 4. And that's actually a really good example to use because we did see a winning deck, I'll pop a link in the description, where that was played with Malamar. Malamar accelerates energy and off you go. The problem is that you kind of need to get the energy on there and then get it into the active. So here you can, if you start with it, you can switch it to the bench, accelerate energy with Malamar, and as long as you put something with low retreat active, I don't know, maybe a Tapu Koko, you can then retreat that into your Muck and go. Muck I should say. Or you can set up a second Muck on the bench and then switch back. Obviously, the ideal here is that when it's in the active, it's about to get KO'd, you play Ace Roller, life's good. But that's not always going to happen. Having an option to get it to the bench is very, very nice indeed. Or you could have something like a Magikarp and Wailord, whereby you want to accelerate energy using Aqua Patch, but you can only accelerate energy to the bench Pokemon using Aqua Patch. You don't have a Quagsire in play, so all of a sudden this becomes pretty crucial. Or you just switch. So let's say, for argument's sake, you've got something like a Pikachu and Zekrom. And your Pikachu and Zekrom is in the active using the first attack. First attack does 150 damage and then accelerates free energy from your deck to one of your Pokemon. And you can put it on the active, but then you risk it getting KO'd and losing the energy and all of that. So you pop it to the bench. The GX attack for Pikachu and Zekrom for 6 energy does 200 to the active, 170 to the bench. So what you can do here is be building up your benched Pokemon with all the energy, and then switching your active Pikarom for a bench Pikarom to use a GX attack, without having to retreat. And look, you can retreat a Pikachu and Zekrom. You can lose all of the energy, but you really don't want to. And at this stage, I need to mention another card which we did a video about very recently, and that is Tag Switch. You see, Tag Switch has a lovely effect whereby you move 2 of your energy, doesn't have to be basic, any energy, from one of your Tag Team GXs to another one of your Pokemon. So you really don't want to be retreating with Tag Team GXs, discarding all of your energy, and then not being able to tag switch. The ideal situation here is that you switch with Drifblim, and then move the energy to whatever you want to be attacking with, or indeed, move the energy and then switch. I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't really matter which way round, if I'm honest with you. The point is, you can move the energy off using Tag Switch, move the Pokemon with Drifblim, and this is really good. And there's a whole bunch of uses for this. You can switch so that you can take advantage of something like Malamar, which affects the bench. You can switch because it's about to be KO'd and you don't have an ace roller. You can switch just to bring up a different Pokemon you want to attack with. It really doesn't matter. There are a million different things you can do. Just remember, you switch your active tag team with a benched Pokemon. So maybe you are using Eevee and Snorlax, and you've got Malamar on the bench, but you're also using double colorless energy, and your opponent drops an Enhanced Hammer. Well, here, you can switch to the bench using Drifblim, get your energy back with Malamar, and then retreat whatever went in the active, and you are good and ready and raring to go. It's Solgaleo, but as a stage 1, and only for Tag Team GXs. Are you going to be able to make space in your deck? It is a stage 1 at the end of the day. Are you going to be able to make space on your bench? Probably the answer to that one is yes. But the reality is, this is a really useful ability, and given the Tag Team GXs have high retreat costs and high energy costs, etc., you probably want to get it out the active fairly often, especially early game. And this can help you out beautifully. Now, there is an attack here as well. The attack is a very straightforward, free energy, 70 damage. But I really like it because it's colorless energy. So maybe you're playing a fire deck, and you play Welder. And Welder lets you attach 2 fire energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Has to be fire energy, does not have to be a fire Pokemon. And then you draw 3 cards. Or maybe you're playing a lightning deck. Because you see, lightning decks tend to be weak to fighting, and Pokemon like Buzzwole are a bit of a pain. So here, you can actually use Drifblim to be hitting weakness on stuff like Buzzwole. And the damage here, and we've seen so many Pokemon lately that have a flat 70 damage. Mismagius, flat 70 damage. Mewtwo, flat 70 damage. Gengar, flat 70 damage. It's weird how many recent Psychic Pokemon have been doing a flat 70 damage. It's weirding me out just a little bit. But it's the perfect amount because a non-GX Buzzwole goes down in 1 hit, and with a Choice Band, GX Buzzwole goes down in 1 hit. So you've actually got a really nice attack here that just gives you Psychic weakness hitting on a Pokemon which can hit for any energy. That's really quite nice. I like this a lot. I don't think you're going to use the attack all that often, but it's nice. It's not like Macargo, where great ability, but you're never attacking with it. This has a really nice attack, and you might not use it ever, but then you might go into some tournament which is just overflowing with Psychic weak Pokemon, and then all of a sudden your 2-2 Drifblim line gives you a huge advantage. Yeah, there's a big potential that you're never going to have space in your deck for this, but it's great at switching Tag Team GXs, and it's a decent attacker as well. So I'm giving it 4 Wassies, and it feels like it might be a little bit too generous. And it's weirding me out that we're having Tag Team GX support. Like these Tag Team GXs are underpowered and not seeing play or success. And like we need to give them some help. It's all a little bit weird to me, ladies and gentlemen. But I will tell you that this is a very fun card. And Tag Team GXs are going to love it. But I would very much like to know what you think about this card. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. But please do remember to be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do just that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about games that don't have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.